15 years later, Viva Con Agua is again at a very, very interesting stage. We were working with AJ since 10 years. He was the water representative of Welthungerhilfe, our best partner. And maybe 1.5 years ago, AJ said, listen, I'm moving to Cape Town and I want to do Viva Con Agua South Africa.
When I moved here, my first thought initially was, wow, all the basic things that are needed to build a community here that cares about water is present, especially because in 2018, when we moved here, Cape Town was having a water crisis. Water was the only thing that people were talking about, how to conserve water because the city was running dry. It was on day zero. So to set up an organization based around water was clear that there was space here to do that.
When something new starts, you always need to be very aware, how do you start it? What is actually the DNA of that seed you are planting? Now, just this week, it was the time to basically create that DNA of that seed together. So the first evening, the core team came together to prepare the workshop also. It's very important that everybody understands the platform here needs to have its own life. And I think within that, since we are in South Africa, we need to be aware of the context. Looking from outside, especially Viva Con Agua, critical Viva Con Agua people, the whole critical whiteness, white savior, Black Lives Matter, the whole issue is over the top in Germany right now. So from the outside, people will look at us very critically.
You address it explicitly and implicitly. You do it on all fronts. The whole reason for being here is the inequality in services, right? The whole reason for being here, for organizations like Viva Con Agua to exist, is the inequality that we've got. So you address it head on. Even if those conversations are really difficult and uncomfortable, and they touch on things that bring up hurt and pain and stuff like that. But it's important to acknowledge it and for it to be in the room.
Because, for example, I'm thinking that when, for example, if Viva Con Agua goes down to Bolongola, right? Yep. It will be you guys, me and Sivu. So it will be like, oh, there's saviors again coming through our black people, you know. So if you talk explicitly so that everything is clear, you know, about the integration, what are you about? Because it's about racial integration, it's about what the person brings on the table before the color of their skin.
So, and here's the other thing. When you say, no, don't be political, you cannot help but be political. Why? Because you're addressing basic services. And basic services here are politicized. You cannot avoid politics if you're engaged in the provision of basic services. Why? Because of the inequality.